We have a lot to cover today. We've got expanded food benefits, amazing new medical assistance programs, free school supplies, grants worth up to $100,000, and a whole lot more. So let's talk about what's happening across the country and in your community. This is the Low Income Relief Resource Roundup for July 2024, and I just want to apologize to you for the dim lighting that we have going on today because I've got a migraine, so we're just going to kind of keep it chill. Alrighty, so we're going to kick things off with some fantastic news for families. Starting this week, the income limits for WIC benefits have been increased so that more families can now qualify for this amazing program. For those of you who don't already know, WIC provides free healthy food, nutrition counseling, and other supportive services to women who are pregnant or breastfeeding, as well as children under the age of 5. Now, WIC provides, I think they said on average, an extra $60 in free food a month, which is really significant. And we're talking about nutritious food like fruits, vegetables, milk, eggs, and so much more. They offer health screenings, breastfeeding support, and expert advice from nutritionists as well. So how do you know if you were, sorry, headache. So how do you know if you qualify for this program? If your family income is at or below 185% of the U.S. poverty guidelines, you may be eligible. And just to give you an example, that means a family of 3 can now earn up to $47,767 a year and still get WIC. That is a pretty significant change over what those numbers used to be, and it's going to help a lot more families get the support that they need. So if you think you might qualify, please don't hesitate to contact your local WIC office and apply. You can find your nearest WIC office by calling 211 or by visiting fns.usda.gov/WIC. All right, so now for all of you on Medicare Part B, we have a nice surprise for you as well. There is a new rebate program that is going to be lowering the costs of certain medications, and you could end up saving money without having to do anything. This program covers 64 different drugs used for a variety of conditions like cancer and osteoporosis. These are typically going to be medications that are administered in the doctor's office or clinic. So like injections, things delivered through IV, that sort of thing. It doesn't really apply to the meds that you take at home, unfortunately. There is a list of the medications included on the cms.gov website, so you can go check that out to see if your medications are included. But the good news is that if you have Medicare Part B, you will be automatically enrolled in this rebate program. There's no paperwork, no hassle, no hoops to jump through. It's already in effect and it will continue until September. So all you need to do is keep an eye on your bills and see if you're getting that savings. I hope you are, because it can be a big help for your budget. Okay, and then this next thing I just thought was kind of cool. The CEO of Arizona Iced Tea did a recent interview where they were talking about pricing and how they've managed to keep their teas at 99 cents for, I think they said 32 years. They have never raised the price. And they said they don't plan to raise the price either. The CEO said they're debt-free. They have no reason to increase those prices, which I thought was really amazing and really refreshing because I don't know about you, but it seems like every time I go to the store, things are just getting more and more expensive every day. So it's really refreshing to see that update. Now, of course, you may find that some stores are charging more for that product, but that's not on Arizona. They do encourage retailers to stick to that 99-cent price. But of course, gas stations and other retailers can choose to sell it at a higher price if they want to. I did see in some EBT groups that there were some people who were trying to rally everyone together to talk to Arizona to try to force every store to lower it down to that 99-cent price. But unfortunately, that's not how it works. The CEO has clarified that they can't control what individual stores are charging. So just wanted to let you know that. And for a little bit more good news, I think we're on track to launch that $150 gift card giveaway next week. It's taken a little bit longer than I had hoped, and I do apologize for that, but I am still looking forward to picking one lucky email subscriber at random to receive a $150 giftogram sometime in July. Please make sure that you've subscribed to our emails at email.lowincomerelief.com so that you don't miss that announcement when it happens. And now I know that was a lot of good news, but we do need to talk about some not so fun stuff too. There were some Supreme Court decisions and some other things that came out this week that are kind of difficult, but I hope you'll stick with me because they are important, and it's stuff that can make a difference. So now for some news that's deeply concerning for many people in our community. The Supreme Court did recently make a decision that could have a devastating impact on people experiencing homelessness. They ruled that cities do have the right to enforce laws against camping in public, even when there aren't enough shelters available. That means that you could be punished for being homeless, even if there's literally nowhere else to go. And that is going to be very difficult. For those of you who are out there who are struggling to find a safe place to sleep, this news is understandably devastating, and it can feel like another blow. And I know lately it just feels like blow after blow after blow, and things just keep getting worse. I don't think it's right that anyone should be criminalized simply for trying to survive. But I know that this is a really scary time, and it's not entirely clear how cities are going to react to this new ruling. But if you are currently experiencing or at risk of homelessness, please reach out to your local organizations for help. I know they're overwhelmed. I know it'll be a challenge to get in, but call 211 to get connected with local resources. And please do it quickly. For some news that might be frustrating for those of you waiting on tax refunds, there's more bad news there too. If you've been a victim of identity theft, you might be facing a really long wait to get your money back from the IRS. Apparently, this is a thing that's happening quite often now, where people are filing fraudulent tax returns for low-income people, trying to take those credits out from under them, which is really nasty. But when someone steals your identity to file a fraudulent tax return, it just kind of grinds the whole system to a halt, because the IRS sees two tax returns, yours and the fraudster's one, and they have to investigate, verify your identity, and try to make sure that the right person gets that money. Unfortunately, that can take a ridiculously long time. According to a recent report, some folks are waiting up to 2 years for their refunds. And this is especially hard for low-income families who count on that money to pay their bills, catch up on rent, or even just buy groceries. These delays can push families who are already struggling into an even deeper financial hardship. So the IRS says that, of course, they're working on it and they're trying to fix it, but the backlog of cases just keeps growing. It was like 484,000 last fall, and now it's over 500,000 unresolved cases as of April. So there's no quick fix in sight, and it's definitely frustrating, and it's not fair to the people who have already been through the trauma of identity theft, because that's a big enough problem as it is. So if you're stuck in this waiting game, waiting on the IRS, make sure that you stay on top of your case, check the IRS website for updates, and don't hesitate to reach out to them directly if you have questions. You can also try contacting your elected officials to see if they can help you speed things up. I know it sounds weird, but I've actually had success with this in the past, not for this issue, but for issues with the VA. Contacting your state legislators or your elected officials in Congress can actually make a big difference in how quickly these agencies respond to you. It's always worth a shot. Okay, and now for some news for those of you who rely on digital libraries for access. I don't know how many of you actually use this particular online library. I've really liked it. But the Open Library Project, which is run by the Internet Archive, has had to remove over 500,000 books due to a lawsuit. For many low-income individuals and families who may not be able to afford to buy their books or who may not live near a library, this digital library has been amazing. It's provided access to all sorts of things for no cost. And so this loss of material is deeply felt in a lot of areas. The good news, of course, is that the Internet Archive is fighting back. They're appealing the decision, and they're urging everyone who values this resource to sign an open letter asking the publishers to basically change their minds and restore access to the material that was taken away. You can find a link to that open letter on our website if you feel like joining in. But if not, I totally understand. Hopefully this setback isn't a long-term one, and hopefully that they'll win out in court. But as we have all learned, these cases moving through court can take a ridiculously long time to resolve. So we'll see how that goes. What else do we have here today? Oh yeah. As always, don't forget to check with injury claims to quickly and easily discover if you qualify for any sort of tort cases. You could be eligible for financial support to cover your medical expenses, lost wages, and more. Anyway, you can see all of that at lirlinks.com/claims. And that wraps up our nationwide news segment, and I have a lot of local news for you today. I am not entirely sure how long I'm going to make it while I'm feeling this way, but we'll see how far we get. So in addition to the expanded WIC guidelines, we also have some more good news for people who need help with food. Illinois and Washington State both have SFMNP vouchers available to help seniors get free produce and honey. I think Washington's vouchers are actually worth $80, which usually it's only worth $50, so that's really cool. In Wisconsin, the Healthy Food for All program is bringing back their buy one for a neighbor deal, which makes it easier for low-income people to get help with groceries in Dane County. This is specifically a Dane County program. But the program encourages shoppers at farmers markets to buy an extra item and donate it, and then those donations are given out to low-income families who need the extra help. I think that's really a beautiful system. But yeah, anyway, that's happening there. What else do we got? All right, if you're in Iowa and you're struggling after the recent flooding, you might be eligible for extra food assistance through DSNAP. This program helps low-income households who don't usually qualify for SNAP get groceries while they're recovering from the disaster. So basically what'll happen is you'll get your EBT card. It'll have 1 month's allotment on there, and it's just some extra temporary relief. You can apply for DSNAP between, I think they said July 8th, and then it ends July 13th. You can call 211 or keep an eye on your local news for more information on how and where to apply for that. Now, some states are also stepping up to help low-income families with back-to-school costs as well. In Florida, families can pick up free backpacks at a few events in Lee County. Belmont County, Ohio is starting to give out vouchers to help low-income families buy new school clothes. And West Virginia is offering a $200 allowance that can be used to buy school clothes or fabric if you prefer to make your own clothes. I thought that was kind of a cool thing. We've got all the details about all of those on our website. So just head over to lowincomerelief.com/news and then click the most recent post there for the details on that. And honestly, everything that we're going over in this video, it's all going to be there in that post. Okay, there are a ton of amazing medical updates today as well, and I am really excited about some of these because some states are taking some really exciting steps to cut back on the impact that medical debt has on low-income families. So let's start with Illinois, where Governor Pritzker just signed a groundbreaking new law called the Medical Debt Relief Act. This law establishes a pilot program that has the goal of wiping out medical debt for hundreds of thousands of low-income households in their state. So you may be eligible for this if your household income is below 400% of the federal poverty level. So that means you can make up to 4 times the federal poverty level and still be eligible for this. Or if your medical debt is more than 5% of your annual income. This is an incredible opportunity to get free from medical debt. Now, I know you're probably wondering when you can apply. The catch here, of course, is that the Department of Healthcare and Family Services still has to set up the pilot program, so they probably won't be able to start reviewing applications until like January of 2025. So hopefully we'll see some application instructions come out before then, but we definitely don't have those right now. So on that same day, another new law will go into effect in that state as well that will prevent credit agencies from reporting medical debt incurred within the state of Illinois. And that's amazing because that's going to double the amount of relief available to families there. Meanwhile, North Carolina is taking a big step to help residents with medical debt. The state government is offering hospitals more funding if they agree to forgive old medical debts for low and middle income patients there. Sorry, I really want to get through this because I have so much good information for you guys today, but I am in so much pain. Okay. Hospitals, in order to get this extra money, would have to offer these discounts to these patients and then limit interest rates on any remaining debt. And there would be a huge relief involved for many people in North Carolina who owe a lot of medical debt. And interestingly, I think I read that that state ranks 3rd as far as like the worst medical debt in the country. If all hospitals participate in this new program, around 2 million people could have as much as $4 billion in debt forgiven. So very big deal there. Out in Oregon, the state is expanding its Medicaid program to cover even more people. The new OHP Bridge plan will provide free health care for those earning up to 200% of the federal poverty level. This means more people will have access to essential medical, dental, and mental health services at no cost. If you think you might qualify, contact the Oregon Health Authority for more information. Let's see, what else do we have here? Okay, my favorite update from this week comes from Vermont, actually, because that state has just decided that hospitals aren't handling charity care well. So the state's stepping in with some clear and concrete guidelines that will make the process so much more simple and easy to use, which I think is fabulous. So the new law standardizes how they determine who's eligible for free or discounted care, and basically this is how it breaks down. You're going to get free medical care if your income is at or below 250% of the federal poverty level. You'll get a 40% discount if your income is at or below 400% of the federal poverty level. And if your income is at or below 600% of the federal poverty level, you will not pay more than 20% of your household income for medical bills, which is a really, really big deal. So in most states, 600% of the federal poverty level is going to be $187,200 for a family of four. So this is an incredibly simplified way to handle charity care, and I think it's going to make it a lot easier for people in Vermont to access the health care they need at a price they can afford. Okay, so we also have a lot of housing updates today, and then I had a whole assortment of miscellaneous stuff, and I'm really excited to cover this because we have news for states that we don't hear about very often, like Hawaii, Missouri, Nebraska, Nevada, Utah, and Tennessee. So I'm really hoping I can hang on here and keep going because I really wanted to get this information to you. So housing updates. In Sonoma County, California, applications are now open for some 3-bedroom project-based vouchers. You must have an income that is 30% of the area median income or less to qualify. That's around $41,500 for a family of four. If you're interested, you need to apply before July 31st. You can apply online at waitlistcheck.com/CA085. In Florida, applications are open for the My Safe Florida Home Program. This program can provide up to $10,000 to help harden your home against hurricanes. This money can be used to install doors, windows, roofs, and more. You do have to spend some of your own money, though, because it's a dollar matching program. So for every dollar you spend, the state will spend $2. You can apply online for that at mysafeflhome.com. If you live in Tampa, Florida, you may be eligible for another $100,000 in home repair assistance through the city's Healthy Homes program. This program is... This program is accepting applications until August, so be sure to check all of that out. In Georgia, the city of Atlanta is giving another $2 million to Star C Corporation's diversion program. This program helps prevent evictions and keep low-income renters in their homes, so make sure to reach out to them for help if you need it. Out in Nebraska, a new class action lawsuit against the Omaha Housing Authority could create lasting changes in how the OHA treats its tenants. The lawsuit alleges that OHA actually hid information about a program that could have helped their tenants lower their rent. Some tenants were even charged extra fees or evicted when they couldn't pay the full amount, even though they may have been qualified for this relief. So we'll see how that lawsuit plays out. And finally, Klamath County, Oregon is helping tenants upgrade their old wood stoves to cleaner heating systems. So they can help you get all sorts of different things like heat pumps, propane, natural gas, or even EPA-approved wood or pellet stoves. So if you're interested in that, get the details at scoedd.org. scoedd.org, yeah, okay. Okay, so that wraps up our housing updates, and we're just going to really quickly move through the rest of these miscellaneous items that I found. So Florida families with young children now have access to free swim lessons thanks to a new law. This program aims to reduce the state's high rate of child drownings by teaching kids under 4 how to swim. So if you're a low-income family and you're interested in getting free swim lessons for your child, head over to watersmartfl.com for details. In Hawaii, Kauai County has a new program to help low-income residents, nonprofits, and small farmers get rid of old or unwanted vehicles. If you qualify, the county will haul away your old vehicle for free. To be eligible, you must be a resident with a very low income or a nonprofit organization that serves the community. So to apply for that, you need to go to the county website and submit a request under Public Works Solid Waste. This program is a great way to clear out unwanted vehicles. Meanwhile, in Missouri, many daycare centers are struggling to stay open because the state is late on paying them their subsidy payments for helping families with low incomes. This program started with a new payment system that has been causing delays since last December. Some childcare providers are owed a lot of money and they may have to close if they don't get paid soon. And some of them are starting to refuse to work with low-income families and only taking people who are self-pay, which is obviously causing a lot of problems for families in that area. Again, the state says that they're going to fix it, but it's not clear when those payments are going to catch up, so we'll keep an eye on that. In Nebraska, Heartland Bike Share is offering a discounted membership program for low-income residents. That program is called RCM, and it gives eligible community members access to the bike share program for just $5 a year. To qualify, you may be eligible if you participate in a federal or state assistance program. In North Carolina, Charlotte is getting a new tech repair program, and this has a cool twist. A local group received a big grant to train formerly incarcerated people to fix computers, phones, and other devices. This program is called Reconnects, and it helps people who were once in jail find jobs and learn new skills. At the same time, this new program will also provide affordable tech repair services for low-income families who might not be able to afford expensive tech repairs. So I love that because it's definitely a win-win. In Memphis, Tennessee, there are now 2 legal aid clinics to choose from. The Memphis Area Legal Services and West Tennessee Legal Services are both operating in the city now. Sorry, I'm just skimming through my notes really quick. And in Utah, Rocky Mountain Power is asking for permission to implement the biggest rate hike in over 30 years. They actually want to put a 30% increase on utility bills, which is absolutely wild to me. And of course, that change would be staggered over time, but that's just a lot. So make sure you reach out to the state with your opinions on that, so that hopefully the Utility Commission can stop that. Okay, that wraps up this week's update. I'm amazed I made it to the end. Please go check out our recent EBT update for more low-income news that you need to know. I will see you there. Have a wonderful week.